And we have a PowerPoint that will follow along with what I'm saying here. When I first started working here last July 1st, the board and I discussed a plan for another bond issue vote for a new secondary facility. Our goal is to build a new junior-senior high school that includes classrooms, parking, a single entrance, offices, a 700-seat auditorium, and a 2-bay competitive gym. The construction project is estimated to cost approximately $27.5 million. This plan is funded will be funded from 3 distinct sources. The first source is the local option sales tax, or the state penny. And that's the penny sales tax that all the schools in Iowa receive to use for their infrastructure needs. And the board is looking to borrow $9 million from that state penny tax. And this is pretty conservative. The board could have borrowed more, but they wanted to stay conservative so that we made sure that we're going to hold back approximately $635,000 a year to help us with our maintenance needs and our infrastructure needs, but also to upgrade our technology as we move forward with our technology plan. So I think that's a very smart move on the board's part to hold that back, because we want to make sure that we do keep our facilities going in the right direction. The second source is private contributions to the campaign, to include gifts, grants, and in-kind contribution. And that's a total of $6.2 million. That seems like a lot, seems like a big, huge target to shoot for, but we're very optimistic that we can hit that goal. We've already been approached by several individuals that say they want to help donate. We've had representation from the farming community that want to help donate the site preparation and do other kinds of in-kind support. And I'm working on a FEMA grant to help make the auditorium a safe room. And we do have a grant committee that's looking out for other possible grants as a way to fund that. So even though that seems like a lot, we're very optimistic. So the last part is the bond vote itself, the bond issue, and that will be for $12.48 million. And when you look at the whole cost of the $27.5 million, that $12.48 million comes up to just 45% of the plan. And I think that's the lowest that I've ever heard of it for a plan, and I think the board is doing the right thing about coming up with these 3 distinct funding sources. Another positive is that our school district will have 0 outstanding debt as of July 1st, 2011. There are not many schools that can say that. Not many schools can say they don't have any debt, but we will be making the last payment on the Early Childhood Center, and so now is an excellent time for us to invest in the future for our students. Right after Christmas, I formed an exploratory committee, and the representation of that exploratory committee we had teachers, administrators, board members, parents, community members, community officials, and we also had representation from the farming community. That exploratory committee worked for 3 months, and I've got to tell you, it was a very arduous task. We had a lot of debate, a lot of discussion, a lot of back and forth on what is it that our facility needs to look like. We even had exploratory members that went out and visited other schools to see what the schools in our area look like, but also the schools in our conference. It took 3 months to get the plan finalized, and that's the plan that we're going to share with you tonight. That exploratory committee disbanded at the end of March. After the exploratory committee disbanded, we did develop 6 subcommittees to help promote the successful passage of this plan. And those 6 subcommittees are Finance, with Rob Robinson being the chair, Marketing and Publicity, with Jenny Yoder and Mike McGill co-chairing, Voter Turnout, it's Brian Eddy and John Holland co-chairing, Community Connections, it's Keith Donnelly and Susie Toll co-chairing. The School District Coordination had myself, Jennifer Sorensen, and Robin Crawford. And then we also had an Energy Committee, and it's chaired by Eric Smith. The chairs of the 6 committees have been meeting, and we've been working frequently together since April 1st. The chairs of the 6 committees collectively are known as TEAM, and that's an acronym that stands for Together Everyone Achieves More. Also, the members of the team have been reaching out to the public over these last few months and giving presentation and trying to get feedback in regard to the new facility plan. Because our goal was that this is not a Gene Peterson plan, it's not a board plan, but it's a community plan. And we wanted to make sure that we got out and talked to as many people as we could to seek feedback that we could bring back to the board. To date, the team members have spoken to approximately 532 community members. And at this time, I'd like to introduce the chairs of each committee, and they're going to just speak briefly about what their committee is all about, what they've been doing. First of all, we have Rob. Rob.
As Gene stated, I've agreed to chair the Finance Committee, and our Finance Committee is broken down into 3 distinct subcommittees, which are in-kind, grants, and then public fund or private fundraising. And I envision by the time we're all done, we'll have probably 30 to 35 committee members. And our task and our only responsibility in life is to bridge that gap between whatever the cost of the project is and what the public funding is not going to pay for, which Gene told you a moment ago is approximately $6 million. And we'll have a good committee, we'll have a good group, and we will get our job done.
Next is Jenny Yoder. Mike, do you want to let Jenny do it?
A bit shorter than these other folks. I'm Jenny Yoder, and I co-chair the marketing and PR committee with Mike McGill. He's sitting up front here, most of you know him. But we're really charged with communicating the campaign message to the general public and to other campaign members. One of the first things we did was develop a website. Let's see. The website is really our primary source of communicating information to a wide audience. You can do a lot of things on the website. You can look for information. Some of the numbers that Gene mentioned are on there under the finance information. It's also a really easy and cost-effective way for us to update information quickly and get news out to everyone. Visitors can sign up for a mailing list, so if you're interested in getting campaign updates or just information about the school, you can do that in the bottom left-hand corner. You can also view testimonials on why others are supporting this plan underneath why others are voting yes, kind of up in that top right corner there. You can view images of other facilities, so you can get a better idea of not only what this facility currently looks like, but what other districts are doing and updating their facilities. It's kind of an eye-opener, really. There's also an interactive map of the conceptual design that Keith will be showing here in a little bit. But if you're interested in volunteering, we really encourage you to become a part of this, and you can click on volunteer and fill out a form there if you'd like. Thank you.
And next we have Brian Eddy for voter turnout, and John works with him, but I don't know that John's coming up.
No.
Good evening. John Holland and I are co-chairing the voter turnout committee. And the simplest way to state what our goal is to make sure that our voters and our supporters show up. We know from prior history we have enough support to pass this. Last campaign in 2008, we were less than 200 votes short. We had 200 yes people that didn't show up to vote. We also know we have 3,000 out of 6,000 registered voters that don't even vote. So our number one mission is to make sure our core supporters, which a lot of you are in this room, spread the word, get out to vote, focus on our phone campaign. We are going to implement a door campaign this year, so we will be looking for volunteers. And we'll be going to the people that haven't had a chance to see the plans and get their feedback. Because more than ever, I think this community plan is really showing this time, not only with the support in this room, but I think when it comes September, I think you're going to see the support on September 14th. Thank you.
The next is the Community Connections Committee, and that chair is Keith and Susie, and Keith will be speaking.
Good evening. Susie Toll and I co-chair the Community Connections group, and our role is just that. We're going to reach out to everybody in the community, Independence, Brandon, and Raleigh, and help make this the best community-based plan that we have. We have over 50 people that are working under us and helping us with this project. And we specifically would like to focus on all the alumni, the senior citizens, farmers, and business owners.
The next committee is the School District Coordination, and Jennifer Sorensen will be speaking.
Robin Crawford and I are working with Jean on the School Connection Committee. We set out to contact Robin, and I have done a lot of the legwork as far as connecting with former staff members, former teachers, and of course current staff members and teachers. And we have set out a wonderful plan. We have one person in each building that is responsible for answering questions and keeping lines of communication open. We have presented to St. John's School Board. We have a building representative from St. John's. We have a building representative from East, West, Junior High, and Senior High. We also have about, I'd say approximately 20 other staff members and former staff members that have also volunteered to be a part of this project. So I think we have a very put together group that can keep all this communication flowing, and that if someone has a question, they know who to go to. So, thank you. Before I go, I wanted to mention our display model over here by the American flag. I went to Mrs. Rollins, who is our tag teacher, talented and gifted teacher, and I asked her if I thought the students could put together a model for us. So she took the 7th and 8th grade students, and I think they really enjoyed their time doing this. They certainly did a lot of brainstorming, materials they could use, who was better at doing what parts of the building. But they have put together, I think, is a really wonderful model. We are going to take this out on tour. So you'll probably see it when you're out shopping or banking or somewhere over the next, couple months. It will make the circuit, but if you have a chance tonight, all their names are on it, the students who put this together, but I think they did a great job. It's creative. They have landscaping in the parking lot, and they have everything in the building. So if you have a chance, come up and check it out, and of course when you see it out in the public, also give it a good viewing as well. But if you see those students, or if you know those students, you can also tell them what a good job they did. Thanks.
And the last committee is the Energy Committee, chaired by Eric Smith.
The Energy Committee was formed well after some of these other committees. It was in response to some of the initial community feedback of what are we doing about the energy consumption and sources for this building. So there's a group of us who are reviewing alternative energies, geothermal, traditional heating, as well as what makes an efficient building. We're trying to make sure we own that, we understand that. Our expectation is that in about mid-August, we'll present a recommendation to the school board for not just what should the energy solution be and the efficiencies, but also how to pay for that with grants and other things that we identified during this process. Thank you.
And now one of our team committee members, Keith Donnelly, is going to go over the plan. And I just have to publicly thank Keith for all his support and efforts. This man wants this thing accomplished. And by gosh, get on his train or get out of the way. And I just appreciate him so much. And he's brought enthusiasm, and moments when we were kind of getting down on ourselves, he'd bring us back up. And so I want to publicly thank Keith. So, it's your show right now.